Habitat loss and wetland fragmentation have led to significant losses in migrating bird populations worldwide. Simultaneously, the small-scale local farmer has become an endangered species. At the Dungeness Delta, the community has been able to keep its rural character by conserving both its wildlife habitat and farmland. Many community members have played a role, but one man, with his patient, purposeful way of working with his neighbors, has served as a role model in the effort that has protected over 600 acres of rich farmland, waterfowl habitat, and recreation space. John Willits loved birds and recognized that without wetlands to sustain and provide them sanctuary, Clallam County would lose its beloved migrating and resident waterfowl.
This little corner down here at Dungeness is really important. Birds don't eat sand and gravel, and that's what they got out on the spit. They have to come in here at night to feed. And here we are, right directly in their path. My agreements with the farmers are they have to plant crops that are important to waterfowl.
John was a visionary landowner who wanted to make sure that whoever farmed his fertile properties in the lower Dungeness did so without chemical fertilizers, herbicides, pesticides, and fungicides. So he leased the land to Nash's Organic Produce and worked tirelessly for decades to protect soils, water quality, wildlife habitat, wetland, forests, and nesting areas for migrating waterfowl, while also ensuring fresh local food supplies. John then worked with North Olympic Land Trust to permanently protect these living, diverse oases for the mutual benefit of people and wildlife.
Behind that tree line over here is what we call the carrot farm. That came up for sale. I didn't think I could ever buy it. It had already been subdivided. It took me 2 years to get those pieces over there. I leased most of it to Nash Huber for organic farming.
It all feeds you at different levels. So the economics of what I do is of critical importance because I wouldn't be here if it wasn't economically viable. At the same time, it has to be spiritually viable, and at the same time, I have a commitment to support my local community, to create a foodscape that my community can feed upon and enjoy and feel secure. As I look forward here in the Delta here, you know, with John's help and some other folks' help, what we've been able to do is establish a land base. We have land, we have water, we can grow good food. It's a community that allows you to survive. That's where the future is.
As John's vision started to take root in the lower Dungeness, he acquired other parcels and worked with North Olympic Land Trust to lead other conservation efforts across the peninsula.
Land Trust's job is to enforce the terms of the easement, what I agreed to, that no houses or no trailers, no car storage, all these things lessen the importance of the property for critters.
Partnering with John since 1990, North Olympic Land Trust has permanently conserved over 3,000 acres, including 450 acres of working farmland, 11.5 miles of river and stream habitat, and 1,800 acres of forest, including 450 acres of working forests.
Every tree you can see here, I planted. There are all kinds of critters here that love trees. On this property, probably 40 to 45,000.
And so he set an example, you know, and so that's the thing you kind of hope to be able to do with your life, is to be able to provide hope, provide access to a good life, and he did those things. So that is his legacy, I think, setting that example, standing up and saying this is important.
These permanently protected lands will pass to the next generation. Future owners will need to continue the ethic that looks after these mutually supportive land values: food, forests, fish, habitat, and recreation.
So that diversity is so key. It has a good feeling about it. You can be here in the wintertime when the ducks and the geese are flying in off the water, and they want to be here in the field out of the wind. And you know, the air's just full of life in November and December. You know, and so with all the habitat that John was able to conserve, it's a balancing act. It's not only in how the land's used, but who uses it.
It's going to be the same here in 20 years as it is today. The trees will be bigger. Listen to the geese. Where's my buddy?